So this is the Hathaway Building. This building is very important to Waterville and the Waterville area and the history of Waterville. I'm doing a little bit of detecting in this area, and then I'm moving somewhere else. I'm moving to a baseball field, but I wanted to cover the Hathaway Building. It's not gorgeous, it's not pretty. Everybody thinks Maine is a gorgeous state, but it was built on the backs of hardworking people. Men, women, even children at some points have worked in mills like this. This was a mill. The dam's right there, and that was the mill part. And it's not a mill anymore. There's multiple different businesses in there. There's a good, amazing brewery in there, and an antique shop and some other places too. But behind the dam is the Ticonic Falls, which is very important to the area of Waterville. It is why Waterville is here. Waterville began as just a little village, and where people had to stop off to port because of the Ticonic Falls. The Ticonic Falls is named after a Native American chief that was in charge of this local area. He was the boss. He was the boss man of this local area, and he would attacks people, I guess. I don't know. This Waterville was a trading spot at first, and then it grew. They put a mill there. I don't know if the mill came before or after. There was multiple shipyards here, but it's here. The mill is important. There's a shipyard, or was a shipyard, and I didn't know this until a couple of years ago in my research. In this multiple shipyards in this local area. Obviously it's overgrown, you can't see anything. Shipyards range in dates from the 1700s into the early 1800s. I think it was like 3 shipyards, but I kind of have an idea where they were through my research. One article reads that it was at the very across from Sherman Street in Waterville, on the Water Street Road. So this right here is obviously a path, but Water Street is right there, and Sherman Street is right there. I'll show you once again. I'll show you on the map. I know, kind of long-winded, but it's very important to understand the history of Waterville and why it is. We are in the south part of Waterville, which was the industrial area where everything was made. Downtown Waterville is just like right over the Hathaway Building, and that's where the banks are, the clothing shops were and still are, the food, everything. This is where the ships were made. This is where the clothing, the wood, the tools were made. I don't know, it's kind of cool fact. Anyway, I'll stop talking and I'll get to the detecting. Very interesting. It actually non-ferrous. It came up as non-ferrous metal. I have no idea what it is. I found something similar with down by there's a beach over there that I didn't show you. I have no idea what it is. It came up as like a coin actually. So no idea. All right, maybe they go. First coin of the day. It's from 2011, so it's not old at all. But whatever. I'll take it. It's more for my daughter's college fund, I guess. Another dime for the college fund. Good to go. So the shipyard was on. It's said to be in the document that I read. It said it was at around Sherman Street in Waterville. It was kind of between two streets. Actually, then it said it was between the dam and Sherman Street. There was multiple different shipyards throughout the centuries, like I said before. But a definite street name that it gave was Sherman Street. Hey, right now I'm showing you the scenery. This is gorgeous right now. It's gorgeous, and a little bit of history. But I mean, it's interesting to me because like I never knew. Before doing research, I found this out a couple of years ago, that there was shipyards in Waterville. Never would have thought of it. but I didn't mention before, this Kennebec, you can kind of see it, this Kennebec River right here, and I'll get a better picture. It's a main riverway. It has been for centuries. Benedict Arnold used this. He went up. The dam is at the Ticonic Falls, not Titanic, Ticonic Falls, named after a Native American chief that pretty much owned this area. It's a pretty significant area. This area is pretty significant. Like, it's not very well taken care of, or kept up. There we go. Words are hard. I don't know why. But Fort Halifax, where Benedict Arnold stayed, is across the river. Across the river is Winslow. The dam is right there behind us. You can't really see it because of the trees. But it was at this point that Benedict Arnold had to port his canoes, or not his boats, not his canoes, and because he was going upstream, because that's genius. But anyway, all right, I'll stop talking and show you where the ways were. Where the ways, I don't know, we call them, at BIW they call them the ways, or they used to call them the ways, where they put ships into the water. I don't know if it's exactly the way, but you can see it, like it's cut out from the trees. Anyway, mainly dig out. Gorgeous. The water is gorgeous. This is the Kennebec River, like I mentioned earlier. Gorgeous. Anyway, so why I'm talking is I mentioned earlier the ways. It's how they used to get ships into the water. The BIW, where I work, Bath Iron Works, they don't do that anymore. But in the olden days, they would use ways. There's multiple different ways. They had multiple different ways of getting the ships in the water. Here in Waterville, they used to just build the hull, the actual like boat ship of that part of the ship, and then they would float it downriver either to Hollowell or Gardner, where the masts and stuff were built and placed. So this, my theory, if it's true, is where the ways were, because you can see it on the map. It's also a part, now it's like the water district, I don't know, but Sherman Street, the tip of Sherman Street is right over there. You can kind of see, well, you can't really see it at all, but Water Street goes like this, like I mentioned earlier, and then Sherman Street is either on either side. I'll show you a map. Just kind of cool fact. It's just a gorgeous day, and I'll stop talking. So we are at the Waterville boat launch. Go down this road, the boat launch is down there. There's people down there launching their boats, doing fishing stuff, so I'm gonna leave them alone. I'm going to detect in this area. There's two little pavilions with tables. There's one right there. And then there's a baseball field, and that over there with a parking lot, a dirt parking lot. I'm excited for the dirt parking lot. But we're in South Waterville. This is like people forget that there's this part of the town. No one really goes up, unless you live here, no one really goes here. I learned about this boat launch and this baseball field through my brother-in-law, who does a lot of fishing and stuff like that. But this baseball field, I also learned, I was talking to somebody at work, an older gentleman at work, and he was saying how when his great grandparents grandfather came from Canada, and they lived in the south part of Waterville and worked at the mill, did stuff like that. They were immigrants. As the baseball field was there, this baseball field was still around. So it's an interesting place. It's a forgotten part of Waterville. Not abandoned, obviously, but it's still interesting. All right, I'm gonna get to digging, mainly dig out. Just a dive from 1910. I wish it was 2010. Obviously not very old. See, as you can see, like there's been people have been here, so it's well kept, or not well kept. It's well used, and I guess well kept, yeah. But just a gorgeous spot. Nice little picnic spot. And the oldest coin so far is 1984. It's obviously a penny. And probably in the best shape. One of the best shaped coins I've had today. I've had a couple of dimes, and I'll show those later. All 2000s, but 1984, good times. Mainly dig out. Ooh, another dime. It's only from 2000, and a BB or pellet. Yeah, that was the pellet. It was kind of hard to find because it kept rolling around because it's a pellet or a BB. All right, mainly dig out. Well, that's kind of a bucket lister. A newer toy car. Yeah, just picking up trash. Bottle caps, lots of old bottle caps, and I might show them. Pepsi, I guess Pepsi was huge. Yeah, I just talked to the maintenance guy, and just to try to confirm like how old this place is, or how old the baseball field diamond is in general. And he's like, it's been here as long as I've been here, 30-40 years. And I was like, that's awesome, good times. I have just found bottle caps though, but that is how metal detecting goes. Mainly dig out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Another car, toy car, obviously. That's awesome. This is quiet out here. Love how quiet it is. Obviously somebody's been here, and at least they put the trash in the trash can, so that is a plus. Kind of an odd find. No idea what it is. So this is my roundup. End of the day roundup with my AT Pro. Love my AT Pro. Love all my metal detectors. I found this, like all the junk I found, just all the junk. There's so many. All these bottle caps were at the baseball field. I'm still at the baseball field. I'm definitely returning. Found a lot of baseball caps in general. Car, and I found, oh, I have the other, where's the other car? Got that. It's my favorite. It's my favorite car one so far. This bad boy, that bright orange truck. And this, I have no idea what that is. This is probably a piece to a cut lock. And 3 dimes and a lot of pennies. Nothing old, which doesn't matter. I like old pennies or old coins, but I'm competitive with myself. I'm competing with myself. I don't know why. I just do that. I find an old coin and I gotta find an older coin. It's just how I am. I gotta remind myself that it's about getting out. It's about having fun, getting fresh air, enjoying Waterville and history, and just finding stuff. Doesn't matter what it is. This probably is my favorite thing. Coins, I love finding coins, but this is definitely relic-y. Maybe, I don't know. See, why I'm interested in this is, like I said earlier, I found pretty much the exact same thing except smaller in not in the same spot, but close to the same spot a couple of years ago, and I never found out what it was, and it kind of annoyed me. But not annoyed me, it just like bugged me. But yeah, it rang up as a coin, or as like in the 70s. So I don't know, good times. All right, mainly dig out.